Mark,
Yeah.
before I dive into this, what if you had to sum up this week really kind of concisely, what would you say? You watched all this.
Sum it up?
Unwillingly. But you watched.
I don't know. Sad.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Mm.
I mean, these were the behaviors I did when I was in high school.
Yeah. Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey, everybody!
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back. And happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so we know what that means. We are having grounds and hounds, maybe. We got some for ourselves. And almond milk. A little, it's like a half and half. Sore tummy this morning, so we're going lightly, though it is not the morning. We had a lot of Chantal to take on. So,
Yeah, we did, and I was there for it. I have to say.
I have to say you're a trooper. Now, you go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it was rough, wasn't it?
It was a challenge.
Well, you know what the thing is? I mean, I think I said earlier that these are the behaviors I did in high school, and I stand by that totally, 100%. This is a grown-ass woman, okay? But, you know, we have to go on, you know, what she says is true, and she's not doing all of this for drama's sake. You know, but I really, it's pathetic. All these lives, she's not doing content anymore. I mean, you know, the burping and come on, like, what I'm trying to get at is that, like, I always thought that she was so much better than this. Like, and wouldn't she want to kind of portray that a little bit? I don't know. Just my opinion. I just would love to see her be like, classy foodie beauty. You know, come on. Grow up. Show us what you got. You know, come on. I'm rooting for you. But boy, let me tell you, these last few weeks, months, year,
thank you, Mark.
It has just been really, really quite difficult.
Mark's very shy, if you can't tell. Thank you, Mark. So we are going to catch up today with our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantabulous, Chantal Show, Pete's, Beezer, Foodie, whatever that was, and then Foodie Beauty again. So I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Last week I was at the beach, and we had a very good time. Not that I was not trying to keep up, or, you know, just it was... You just gotta get away sometimes. Not from Chantal, but from life. But it did mean a break from Chantal. Sort of. What I asked of the community, and the community responded very well, was to fill me in with a few things here and there, what I may be missing, because it's as the Chantal turns, there's a lot of twists and turns quickly, and then deleted videos. You know, if it was like a regular TV show, it would be so funny, because they would just like delete episodes that weren't flattering. That would be kind of, you know, something to do. But the handful of comments I got, there was about 40. There was about 40, so thank you. There was a few that jumped out that kind of summed up what I think was the big thing of missing. First, don't be scared. I've done this before. Show me your teeth. So apparently, Dom, who is the her on again, off again, you know, like Tina Turner kind of thing they have going on, she showed his face while he was doing some magic tricks. Okay. Now, when I watched this video back, she showed his face a couple times, but the teeth is what everyone was re-showing. Apparently, he was angry at her for this kind of stuff, and he hung up on her, so she was hugging her llama, admitted she messed up from oversharing, while still kind of playing the victim, and she called herself a celebrity. I think she was being facetious. I hope she was being facetious. She invited Dom to the live stream to show off his magic tricks. He didn't want his face shown, but her clumsy camera work did reveal a bit of his face. Clumsy? She's been on YouTube too long to be clumsy by accident like that. Their dynamic together seems a bit odd, in my opinion. Odd is a word. Odd is a word some people would use. She went back and forth to Nadir's, wore the same yellow dress all week, then some lace numbers. She had Burger King several times. It was her sister's birthday, and Chantal didn't get her a gift, and I'm pretty sure she left to get together early to get back with Nadir. She went live outside of his house, and Kiwi Farms figured out the address. There was a magic show where, okay, this is again with the teeth. So, that was pretty much what it seemed like happened last week. It was the same come here, go away routine type of thing. So, that was like 2 weeks ago we talked about her coping skills. Okay, her not so good coping skills. It was more like defense mechanisms, dodges, and blame assignment. So a lot of that's still kind of going on, and it takes a different form this week because we're talking about her ending a relationship with Dom, Nadir, Jerry Seinfeld, what have you. So thank you, Mark. Mark's stepping outside to the garden, so he left me a stick. That's love. That's love. That's lung cancer. Anyway, and you can see the neighbors are gardening. So, okay, this week kind of, does he love me, does he love me not? What part of him being upset with me, I'm talking as if I were Chantal, is my responsibility, and what is his? Do we want different things? Do we not? Now, again, I found myself in Chantal's position a number of times because I've loved a man to the point of hating me. I've harassed a man. I've been so nice that it's a turnoff. What else have I done to poor men? I mean, poor nothing. Guys are like buses. Every 15 minutes, another one will come by. On Plenty of Fish or Tinder, believe me. Guys don't get that emotional over women or men. We just don't get that emotional. Some guys are idiots. I do. I mean, I would, but I'd be that guy out of, what is that movie where he's got the big stereo on his thing and he's playing In Your Eyes? To some people, that's romantic. To others, it's a reason for a PFA. So I guess it depends on the nature of your relationship, too. So again, coming into this week, the magic trick video. He's doing some card tricks, and they're kind of cool. And she describes him as her friend in the video. And another friend. Now, they're not boyfriend-girlfriend, and she reiterates that a lot. And she says it over and over and over again, even though she acts this whole week like she's lost her fiancé. Like, she was very outwardly emotionally upset about the falling out they had this week, and now she's seen him on the slide, or is she not? And is there a French lover in the mix? And no, there isn't. And now, right now, she's out and may not be back till tomorrow. Or she'll be back tonight to bees. We'll see. So she calls herself an asshole for showing this guy's, teeth and all his private stuff that went on. And she totally agrees with him. She was like, yeah, I'm an asshole. He's like, yeah, you're an asshole. On camera. And I'm sure she would just say, oh, that's just how we are. I laughed and said I was an asshole, and he agreed. That's just how we are kind of talk. I don't like when I hear that from women, especially coming from men, but I guess anybody. When someone says something that's, like, kind of insulting, like when she's trying to, like, kind of apologize by saying, sorry, I'm this, and he's like, yeah, you are. Whether it's true or not, he doesn't need to agree with that cruel shit. True or not. She showed off some things in this video that kind of confirmed that a couple things were very much a matter of perspective. His muscly, veiny arms, which he used to probably hold like a Perk 30 or whatever, in his arm. And then his arm, I have skinny old lady girly arms. It's one of the best tricks to hiding my actual weight because my arms look really thin. So do his. I wonder if he's knock-kneed as well because the joints are very out. Just saying. He didn't look like, well, it's hard to spot track marks at that distance. But anyway. So she shows his face on camera a couple times. He shows a couple more card tricks. He seems a little disinterested in this whole thing. He does one, he gets up, he walks away, he comes back. She seems much more interested in doing this than he does. Now, his teeth came up. Okay. Now, okay. People like what people like. So if she likes him the way he looks, that's all that matters. And if he likes the way she looks, that's all that matters. There's a school of thought that would look at both of them and say, how in the hell could, the more shallow, perhaps cruel look would say, but if they're happy together and they're both turned on by each other, great. That's good as far as a sexual relationship goes. If she's turned on by him and he's turned on by her and everybody's getting it off, who am I to say they're too ugly to have sex with each other or anybody else? Who am I to say that? That's not my spot. I'm not trying to be like snotty about that either. It's really none of my business. The fact that Mark and I live together and have a relationship probably makes half of the world sick. You do what makes you happy. So that's, fine. But some of the things she mentioned about his dashing good looks didn't seem so dashing to me, necessarily. Of course, I'm not the one sleeping with him, so it's really not my problem. Let's see. More card tricks. Now, again, just for the sake of it, I don't know if dental care is covered under universal health care in Canada, or if in his if he lived anywhere else in another part of the world first. I understand maybe he's Egyptian, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's from Egypt proper. I don't know. Or had lived there for his entire life before he came to Canada. It can be expensive. I just dropped a few $1,000s on dental work. I've spent thousands over the last 6 years. Not all at once, because I don't have it like that, but over a period of time, because I destroyed my teeth because of an eating disorder. So, and again, if he can chew and swallow and she don't mind and he don't mind, whatever. It seems to be the least of their differences as time goes on. So, yeah, like I said, it looked like it could be challenged while eating. So, he gets mad. Okay, he gets mad. We're hitting some of the bigger bullet points here because there was an umpteen number of short videos. This week, the thing seemed to be half-hour video stop. Half-hour video stop. And thanks, by the way, to Just Sayin' and Thor for putting some of this together into shorter bits, for condensing some of it, and then for stringing a whole day's worth together, because it's hard to put 9 hours together at once, you know. So he gets mad. He didn't want his face shown on YouTube. That's not unreasonable. He's not a YouTuber. It's not a big deal to her because she is a YouTuber. So, she said she took the video down. YouTube's forever. It's totally forever. It's going to be out there. And this wasn't just, this was his face. But she also doxed his name. She put his name out there. And then Kiwi Farms went hunting and found the address, which apparently she left enough info out there to find it, all but, like, took a picture of it. So, if not. So all this information, the private information people have about him, not just stuff she shared about their relationship and his physical appearance and his manhood and nose and other things about him, she shared all this information that people would get their channel shut down, like, you know what I mean, for privacy. If you put out all that information about somebody, that's not cool. That's not cool. And like I said, Chantal's been on YouTube so long, it's no accident. Because if it happened to her, she would not accept that was an accident as an excuse. She totally wouldn't. And in this one, she goes into, because he's mad, she's doomed to be alone. Okay. He hung up on her. I'm sorry. So she was texting and calling, and probably not under 2 digits worth of times had she done both. She said 6 is a lie. She sent them over and over and over again because she needs his approval, attention, blessing. Whatever this guy has, she needs it, and she needs it often, and she needs it a lot. Attention could be a word that we would use there, maybe. Does she need male attention? Does she need hard to get male attention? Because that's extra proof of love. If someone doesn't give anyone the time of day, but they give it to me, it's like extra special. When I used to go out, it would be like if what I thought was the hottest guy in the club would give me like the time of day, that meant I was attractive. Because if objectively to me, you know, like I just said, there's a lid for every pot. But in my head, there was attractive and unattractive people. And I fell into the category of unattractive, more or less. So if somebody who I thought was cute thought I was cute, that meant they could pull me from the other side. And I would be, by proxy, maybe, like, attractive. You know, just by distance. I would hum next to their cool, you know, vibration. It didn't, you know, but it was proof to me. You know, those sort of interactions were proof. It showed me, because I didn't believe it. Now I don't go to bars, so I don't know. Maybe I'm, like, the second most handsome man at the gas station, if that's something. I don't know, but I don't care as much as I did when I was a teenager. Immaturity, I think, plays a lot into kind of what we're seeing this week, too. So, after he hung up on her, shouldn't talk about people. She shouldn't talk about people. No, she shouldn't talk about people. She's dating, especially. But doesn't he know she's a celebrity? Now, I assume she's joking and going over the top. Is she a public figure? Well, she has a public. And she has enough of a public that they go into other areas of YouTube and other forums and talk about her. And if she gives a little bit of her personal life, there's people that will go after that and spread that around if they think it can expose her, make a joke out of her, expose her Catcher in a Lie is another one. I mean, it's not always for noble reasons that people go out and expose a person or a person's partner for those reasons. Not always noble, not always seeking truth. But sometimes some truth comes out that shows that a creator was maybe less than honest. So to that end, it's there. But yeah, I mean, she put another person beside herself out there, a person who's not a YouTuber, and who showed very little interest in being one, considering he didn't want his face shown, and his only consent was hands. Hands, you know. He did have a nice skin tone, though, I have to say. And there was a couple shots where I saw his whole face. I'm assuming those are just not re-put out because nobody else wants to put that out there. But that camera pulled back a few times that I saw. So, he doesn't want his life broadcast. Most people don't. Most people don't. We put ourselves on YouTube voluntarily. You know, none of us are drafted to be creators. And Chantal at this point shares the blow by blow of her everyday life on YouTube. Every day, every few hours, every couple times a day, she posts all the events, big and small, that go on in her life, true or otherwise. Again, like Mark said, we're taking this with a grain of salt that what Chantal is telling us is more or less true. That she admits to exaggerating or forgetting some details, but she alleges that all this stuff is actually happening. And so, for the sake of this video, we're also going to assume the same. Understanding that we've been misled before. Okay, understanding that we've been misled before. So, no, most people don't want their lives broadcast. She does, because it's her job. I don't broadcast 24 hours a day, though we have a channel, and we're considered creators. We go to the creator studio. Granted, our channel is not our full-time job, so we don't rely on our content as much for bread and butter, or Red Lobster, or anything else, as much as she does. It doesn't carry the same financial importance, and so there's not the same urgency to be outrageous or facilitate drama to get someone to come back to the next video to find out what happened in the last one. You know, we don't have too many stories that have like narratives to them, except maybe Mark and I check in on our health, sometimes weight loss, different projects Mark does, stuff like that. But we're not talking about other people's lives, and we're not talking about other people's business, and we're not talking about other people's first names, and we're not giving out other people's addresses or anything like that. I mean, I think that's a little bit different, personally. Am I talking about someone who isn't me? Yes, I'm talking about Chantal. Is it any of my business what she does? In her real life, no. If I was her nosy neighbor, no. But she broadcasts her life on YouTube. So it's fair game for discussion, I think. And plus when I see this desperate calling a bunch of times, should I go over there? Shouldn't I go over there? I wish I didn't have feelings. I wish I did have feelings. That's my insane, desperate, jealous monologue, which reared its head in my teens and also in my late 20s. And what happened then, my late 20s, was the scariest, most declining part of my drinking. And there's an argument that could be made that when people start drinking or using, it stunts their maturity. Now mine, in that case, would have been stunted around when I started playing with it, around 18, 19 years old. I was in college. Not to say that I intellectually couldn't finish school or hold a job or anything, but emotionally, I reacted to relationships and friendships like a kid. Well, they never called me back. I'm not calling them back. Thank God we didn't have texting and smartphones at the time, because I would have had... You wouldn't even see me. I wouldn't even be on social media at this point for all the reckless crap I would have probably done. Pictures I would have sent people I would have met. I would have been dead in a ditch, just like my mother always worried about. But she's doing this in a different space, in a different forum, where information is maybe not easily accessible to all of us, but for folks who want to find it, they can find it like that. And for people who want to interfere in her life, they will interfere with the people in her life. And back to her responsibility. The onus is on her to not share that information. If it gets tracked down out of nowhere, fine. But the bits of information that are private about him, she released. He can't... Of course he's mad. I would be mad too. Let's see. She keeps saying, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I just want to give him some space. Space? Nothing. He hung up on you. He hung up on you. There is no space. Here's the space he's giving you. He doesn't even want to finish the sentence. He just hung up. He just hung up. And I gotta say, I never liked the dude to begin with. I don't care that he's hung up. I care that maybe she's upset because it seems a little disproportionate for the nature of their relationship. But I'm not sad that he's gone. And if she's on the sly going over there now to sleep with him because she has to swallow all that bullshit about what a lying bastard he was, if she wants to say to her viewer she went back over there, she's going to have to dance really fast or completely hide it. And she doesn't have a good poker face. If you're new, she does. If you've been around a while, she has a lot of tells that she does, too. So, she said she learned her lesson, but I mean, how often has she learned her lesson? You know what I mean? So, she found out that, I guess this guy's definitely not her boyfriend. I was watching one of the live at the time, and she was just talking about X, Y, and Z. And it came up that a picture of Dom's member, Chantal, had crept up, and someone sent it to Chantal for her to see. And she was like, oh God, it can't be his. He only has one dick pic, and I know what it looks like. So it didn't look like his, according to her, and it must have been photoshopped onto his body? I don't know. Then she gets some DMs sent to her. And she looks at them, and she's pretty sure they're his. She's pretty sure, actually. So she can see some of the dick pics. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what this, you don't know what that. You just try to make things up. And then she sees them, and she's like, they're true. Now, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed. I would probably be big, dramatic embarrassed and shut the camera off. But again, I haven't reacted to a relationship like this since I was like a teenager or a end-stage alcoholic. You know, my frank. Pete says she's overreacting. Pete still lives there? She has her clothes in his trunk at the moment. Now, in this live stream where she finds out he's doing this and he's that and he's that, she was washing his clothes. Do not take clothes from one person. You know, I mean, if it's like a sick relative or a sibling or something, or he's washing his clothes, what would you tell to a woman who was doing that for a man that wasn't her boyfriend? Is he washing your clothes? Okay, whatever. She needs to return a few things that are his. She did this needs to return thing with BB for like 6 months too. It's like if she leaves pieces of herself at these guys' places, there's always a reason to go back. It like leaves the door open. She says she wants closure, but there's enough things left undone that they can still be like revisited a little bit. And I mean, she said she wanted to go back and sleep with BB after they broke up, but that could have just been for the sake of getting it in. It might not have been. Now, it probably still had to do with BB. There was probably leftover feelings, but anyway. So she needs to relax as she's talking to the stream. She needs some edibles, and if she doesn't hear anything, she's going to take some. Again, when we're talking about substances, and she attempts a bit of advocacy for addiction science later. Taking an edible to relax and have a goofy time and to watch some movies and eat some Cheetos is like whatever. But when we're taking the same substance to feel good that we do when we feel sad to numb out bad feelings, that's a trip into like some dangerous waters that could happen too. Because the thing that's making us feel good or better or enhancing a moment is now being used to numb out bad feelings. Bad feelings have their purpose. They suck. They suck, and I take mine too far, and because my mind gets a little brittle from time to time, so to speak, I can take things way too far periodically, and then other times I feel silly afterwards for doing it. That's the nature of learning. You know, we sometimes make complete fools of ourselves and duck with our tail between our legs and go lick our wounds and try again, you know, but when you do it very publicly, people are going to respond to that rather strongly, especially if they've been in similar circumstances and it hasn't turned out well. It's a cautionary type of concern that comes with it, and that doesn't always come out nice either. Whether that's from friends, family, relatives, viewers, haters, trolls, lurkers, whoever it comes out of. It probably is easier to hear from some people than others, but it's true nevertheless, I think. So he went through your phone. No man's going through Mark can go through my phone. Mark can go through my phone. And if I was ever, I can't think of anyone else I would let go through my phone. There's nothing in there. But unless I can go through yours, no. No. There's two people in this relationship. Chantal, of all people, should not take second fiddle to a man and say, you can invade my privacy even though I can't invade yours. You can go through his phone. And if he took it and wouldn't give it back, that's cruel. Because what's she going to do? Run after him to get it? I mean, I don't like the guy. I'm not sad he's gone. I have a low opinion of him. I would hope you're not sleeping with him again. Again, it's your life, not mine. I'm just watching the show. So, again, get more edibles. I suspect verbally this guy wasn't very kind to her either. Just saying. She said emotionally abusive. She used the word abusive in one of these live streams. Let's not start, like... I don't know if I used the word abusive, but it's nothing I'd stick around for. You know what I mean? And for all her, I won't let men talk to me that way. The way he talked to her when they were playing cards, I'd be like, get out of here. Get out of here. So, again, his teeth come up. And, you know, his teeth are noticeably, they're prominent, but they're not, you know, whatever. And she again reiterates, I'm stupid. I feel stupid. I feel so stupid. I'm so mad at myself. I feel bad. She said she feels bad for as far as his privacy being violated. No, she doesn't. Now that she thinks he might be, you know, getting it on with somebody else, or doing somebody else, or cheating, or anything like that, I'm not going to put him out on Main Street. I don't just dox people like that. I don't put people's dirty laundry out there. Oh, she does. When she gets pissed, woman scorned, man scorned, people get upset. People do. Why does it sound like I'm planning to go back? I'm not. She was saying this to a viewer. Why does it sound like a plan to go back? Because you left your shit there. And you were actually making a plan in the real time here to go back. You're going to drive his laundry back over there. Okay. And we already talked about this part. Viewers being concerned, maybe in an assertive way, and she's taking that as backlash. If she starts taking it as don't tell me what to do, it's my own life, then she's gone to the land of immaturity again. And she'll be with Dom to spite haters, even if she's not liking the relationship, or she'll make it sound like she likes the relationship just to piss people off. Not everything is in the interest of pissing people off. We can just do things we like or don't like sometimes, you know? So while she's folding his laundry, she thinks maybe he's fucking somebody else. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. Or maybe he just doesn't want to talk to someone who just told him off after calling 6 times. I wouldn't either. I gotta see this from both sides here. I wouldn't either. I don't like him, but I mean, who would? Who'd want to pick up the phone after that? So now she's looking at all these past events that happened and thinking, was he cheating then? What about the day he didn't call me back all day? And she texted him 21 times. And maybe he said he left his phone at home, but it wasn't at home. He was just, you know. So then Pete's pops in. Oh no, Chantal wants revenge sex first. Okay. She's outmaneuvered here. She is outplayed by this guy. I thought so from the beginning. Pete's pops in. And she talks about the hypocrisy and hurtfulness of cheating. To Pete's, who she cheated on with BB. Poor old Pete's. I like Pete's. He's just along for the ride now. He has less camera time than the cats. So she goes to his place, you know, and then she's saying, what did I do wrong? Was I too nice? Was I trying too hard? She doxed him, like, multiple times. I don't think that's too nice. He'll try to turn this around on me, like narcissists do. Maybe she has met her match. Maybe she has met her match. She said, I don't air people's dirty laundry. She's literally doing it now. This just needs to end. She says this, and this is about what sums it up, so we can just coast through the rest of this. This just needs to end because it's driving me crazy and I'm not stable enough for this. That sums it up. That's the truest thing she said the whole time, I think. It's the most insightful, and it probably just flew out of her mouth as something she thought she should say and then didn't reflect on. But she did. If she's going to reflect on anything, reflect on that. Sometimes you're just not well enough. Even to sleep around. You know, I catch feelings like that. I caught feelings from Mark from eye contact when we first met. Now, luckily, that worked out later. But I met Mark 11 years ago. You know, we didn't start dating for 4 after that. We didn't jump in the sack right away. People do it in rehab. We didn't. But I can think of guys I met when I was in college. Oh, instantly I was in love. And I thought I was in love with 3 of them at once. Because if it feels like love, isn't it love? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Infatuation played a big role in all of them. I loved falling in love. Being in love was more work, though. And acting lovingly towards a person was like a little bit more work. You know, saying I love you and saying I want to see you is one thing, but if I get there and you rip my phone out of my hand because you want to see who I was talking to and they try to rush me out the door to get another girl in, fuck you. No piece of ass is that good. None. There are plenty of nice guys out there giving it away, and they don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that. Me, you, or anybody else, okay? So she drops off the clothes. I personally would have given them to Goodwill, but that's just me. She starts saying he has no respect for women. So we've gone from respect to her to respect for women. So we're kind of, I was wondering if we're going to rally a crowd here now and say that he's like anti-women, but she went back to talking about just herself again. She'll switch tenses sometimes from me to we to try to not rally a crowd, but make it relatable to other people. So it's like, it isn't just that he treats me like this, he treats women like this. I imagine he probably does, but for right now, we're still talking about you. She says lesson learned, you know, maybe, allegedly. I don't think she had lesson learned. Oh, and then she says, you know, why would I go, what was this? He was saying you'll never have sex as good as you had with him. With Dom. She said, I've had better sex already. I was with BB for 8 years. He was doing something right. Poor Pete's. Is Pete's even there? Like, is he even around? So far, he wasn't a good lay. Like, there's, like, he's right there. I don't know. Anyway. You know, she says, I need good sex, but I need to work on myself. Can a person have both? I don't know if she can. Theoretically, I think yes. But she catches feelings too easily. She catches feelings way too easily. This is evidence of this. And she catches strong feelings. We're not talking giggly schoolgirl crush feelings here. We're talking about the hand that rocks the cradle. You know, something a little closer to that. So he did message her. We're skipping ahead a little bit here. 150 milligrams worth of edibles. Don't even waste them. Don't even waste them. You're just going to be comatose. When the situation with him talking to another girl came up, and she brought it up to him, he said, I told you about that. Gaslight? Make her think she's crazy? And then she's like, after all I did, you guys don't know the half of it emotionally, XYZ. So, next thing she did that was moderately interesting was clean the house, which we don't see her cleaning it, but it's clean the next day. What she did do was take some edibles and lie in bed for a while. And then, you know, she cleaned it up later in the night. The only thing I saw her do was, she said she put some scrubbing bubbles in the toilet after she had diarrhea twice on camera. She didn't take the camera to the bathroom, but she did. And then she sprayed the trash can with some bleach, I guess. And then she cleaned her face with spit to get some eye makeup off. And then she's concerned that she's going to be an ugly old person. Honey, we should all be so lucky to be ugly old people. You and I have treated our bodies like speed bumps. I would argue we probably take about the same amount of medication. A lot of us should be dead for a number of reasons by this age. We should be lucky to get old. It would be a joy. I'd be happy to sit here if we were both in our 70s talking about what the hell you're eating. I would be thrilled, because we'd both be alive at 70. Wouldn't that, you know, talk about loose skin. I'll match you tits on the ground for tits on the ground at 70. So she shows around the house and then shows pictures of what it looks like clean. And I'm thinking, that's clean? That's, you know, Pete's has to take out all 12 bags of garbage too. And what I think with the dirty house, the thing is, I think she agreed to clean when they moved in. Chantal will clean, Pete's will do XYZ. I think Pete's is like foot down, not cleaning. And he'd rather live in filth than go back on that and clean. Part of that is ugh, and part of that I kind of respect, I think, because, you know, he can't do everything. You know, he's not a butler, you know. So, again, we're going back to Dom, you know, and then Chantal starts to talk about drug shaming. So she's kind of defending Dom with this. She doesn't like addict shaming, she doesn't like drug shaming. Now, honey, we can all use a good advocate. And thank you for thinking of the idea that addiction is a disease, because it is. Depending on I come from, you know, the thinking it's a disease. But it's highly treatable, and it can be managed. Also, even if someone just has an addictive kind of personality, and they're just addicted to more fun, more food, more sex, more edibles, more appetizers, you know, more of everything. Just something to make me either feel better than the good I feel now, or numb compared to the worse I feel. And those fixes work in the minute, but they either stop working and we need a better fix, or nothing. Or nothing. We just live with it. It's okay. Thank you again. Thank you for the advocacy bit. I appreciate it. You, Chantal, would be an amazing, one of the biggest success stories on YouTube if all this turned around and I'm not just talking about weight loss, I'm talking about the complete personality change that goes with it, about responsibility, growing up. Wait till she finds out she's not actually lazy. And she becomes a quite active person without the help of chemicals. She's so much more than she even knows, because everything's tied up in her being like slow moving and lazy. But that's, all of us are so much more than just a couple characteristics, but she's stuck and she can't get to where she wants to get to right now. The weight falling off will be nice, but it won't fix everything. I've been fat and then thin. All you have is skinny problems. And not that they're any different than fat problems. Like, all the problems she's having right now with Dom, a skinny woman could have. This isn't because she's overweight. This has nothing to do with it. So, she shows the reveal after cleaning. She's going to donate the walker. Nice troll. She said she's going to stay single. Okay, she's not going to stay single. She's going to either start seeing other lovers, start seeing Dom, lying about it, something. She can't stay single. She was live right at the end of this as I was watching, and she's in the mood to do something. She's got a face full of makeup, the same yellow dress she's worn for about a week, and she doesn't want to do choresy stuff because it's a Saturday. Every day is Sunday when you're Chantal, okay? Or a primary work from home YouTuber. You know, Chantal takes us in the car once in a while, but she's not like an outdoor vlogger. We're not hiking, we're not hunting, we're not mountain climbing. You know, we're either in her house or we're in her car, pretty much. So we're gonna do something weekendy, I guess. She'll be back later. If not tomorrow, if she's back later tonight, she's going to Bees. So, what have we wrought? What is the takeaway? Okay, Chantal's behavior. Yeah, you have to forgive me. I didn't really even feel well this morning. Chantal's behavior is not that of a mature, grown woman when it comes to her reaction to all of this. She'll say something very true and very factual, like, we weren't together, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, but he lied to me about something. And then she has the rage of a jilted girlfriend or a jilted partner, you know, what have you. So her response is like really disproportionate. Now, if you thought being too nice was a turnoff, wait till you see what this does. And the idea that he's really jealous, I either totally buy or totally don't. Because guys like that are either super nosy or they just don't give a shit what you're doing. And sometimes them not giving a shit makes a woman more suspicious. Like, why don't you care what I'm doing? Don't you think about what I'm doing when I'm not around? And then we're entering into more head games coming from the other side. There's too much game playing going on, I think, in this relationship. And I think because it's not declared as anything, and I don't think it's going to be, that happens. You know, she's trying to play power games. I slept with my back to him to see if he'd roll over, and then when I did, he had his junk out. Well, you have a sexual relationship. As far as he's concerned, that's pretty much all it is, I think. You know, I think he was trying to get rid of me. Well, yeah. He could have just said, I have something to do tomorrow. Would you mind stepping out early? You know. Granted, she shouldn't have driven under the influence, but also, if he had something to do in the morning, he could have said, can you please be ready to leave in the morning? Because, That's not unreasonable, I don't think. Because it's not like he's asking his girlfriend to do it, because you're not his girlfriend. So, my hopes, my takeaway, I hope Chantal, finds her way through with this. If she insists on getting some on the side while she's finding herself, I hope it's from someone where it's very no expectations. But I fear she will catch feelings again. So I hope she would be very cautious and guard her heart very well, because when she, I understand though that when she doesn't, it creates 20 hours of content. So maybe if she is too cautious, it's not good for views. But Nevertheless, be cautious, guard your heart. Men are idiots sometimes. You know, every 15 minutes, I said, another one's gonna come by, and one of them might be nice, and one of them might like you back as much as you like him, you know? Just don't rush it. Don't rush it. Clean your house. Hang out with Pete's. You know, if it's real, it'll be there. But don't give him any attention. It just fluffs up his ego. And don't go begging. No man's worth begging and crying over. None. Okay, maybe if Jason Momoa came over, I'd beg and cry and plead for his attention. But that's not what's happening here. Okay? So thank you all for watching. I'm trying to play catch up. I believe we got there. I think. If there's any more, again, please leave comments below so we can all fill each other in on what happened. Thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell on your way out, and the thumbs up so you can get alerts when we have new videos and also when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and our contact information is all listed below as well. Thank you again, and we will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We are going live. Thank you for watching, and we will catch up with y'all hopefully tomorrow. See you at 6 p.m. Eastern. Bye!